Dobrodošli, or welcome. This month is the month of listopad, which is taken from leaves falling, which is what they're doing right now. List meaning leaf and pad, fall, listopad. And there is something so very beautiful about all of these bare branches which are starting to show themselves. A melancholy sort of sad. It's nice though for the changing of the seasons.
Bok, I'm Mandy O. This is Grow, Make, Cook, and welcome to my garden. I grew up in Australia in a permaculture family, but after we got married, Mr. O and I moved here to his home country of Croatia. I am a passionate and hands-on homemaker and gardener, and I love life's simple pleasures. So join me on my journey, and together we can learn to grow, make, and cook. This is the second week in October, or listopad.
One of the lovely things about this time of year is the spectacular colours of the trees and leaves. It really just warms your heart on these chilly days. I do adore pea flowers. Now these are a bit of a bonus gift. These were the peas that I planted in a little tub before we went away for our summer vacation, and I had them inside and I cut them about 4 times for salad. I grew them from seed that I had saved in the spring from my spring peas, and these were just intended as a salad green. And then when they got all horrible and I thought, we don't want to eat that for salad anymore, I just popped them in the edge of the garden bed here, and they have sprung up beautifully. So we're getting a bonus little patch of autumn peas, and they don't mind the cold. They'll do all right even with an occasional frost and a little bit of snow on top. So I should actually still get some peas from these. Probably not very many though. So few of my small sunflowers seems to have made very much in the way of seed at all. I'm just waiting for these ones to mature and ripen from all my little miniature ones. I'm really keen to collect their seeds, but I have got the big one. So this is one of my larger sunflowers that is now ready for seed collecting. So I can tell he's ready because there's actually a couple of little seeds that are missing. They've fallen out here and there. So I know that this one now is dry enough and ready that I can harvest these and store them ready for next spring for planting up so we can have sunflowers again. They are beautiful, all of these spectacular leaves from the dogwood in their multi-redded shades and this hawthorn in the yellows. They really are gorgeous. Now, I want to do a bit of printing with these. So it's very important that the leaves that I pick have moisture in them. They're not crumpling up. When I scrunch them, oh, that one doesn't work. When you scrunch them, they don't crinkle up. There has to still be some moisture in the leaves for smashing to work. This is a thing I used to do with my great-grandfather back when I was a little girl, and he called it smashing. But I have since learned that leaf printing like this is very often called Hapazomi, and it's this ancient leaf printing technique, but to me it'll always be smashing. So I think we should go up and do some leaf smashing. Alright, so I've got my bits and pieces. I've picked a couple of little flowers and some of the petals from my calendula flowers, and I've got just a cut-out mask. The fabric choice is important for smashing because it needs to be a natural fabric. So this cotton will work well, but if you use something like polyester or rayon or nylon, it just won't absorb the plant dye. And it's a very simple procedure. Open him up, put your desired bits and pieces, leaves. I like the texture of this really purple one. So you pop all of those on. I've got some beautiful blue cornflowers, which I might pop one there and one there. Some of these little, I might just add just the tiny little purple flowers. Now, the colours don't always come out exactly as you see them, so it's a bit of a game, I guess, of chance, really. Now that I'm done designing my pattern, I think I might a little bit more yellow up here, maybe a bit more in there. Anyway, now that I've got my design done, comes the smashing. So we fold him back over, holding him nice and flat.
And then it's simply a matter of giving it a gentle smashing with a hammer. This crushing of the plant material will release the plant dye and allow it to kind of penetrate into the fabric.
So this is my first one, and I'm just going to peel it back to reveal the patterns now. Oh, I'll just try and take some of this off. Now, the next one I'm going to do, oh, you can even see the veins in the leaves on here. Gosh, that's so pretty. Gosh, isn't that beautiful? I'm going to do another one. And I think what I will do is I'm going to just iron one. I'll do one mask just ironed, and I'll do one where I use the vinegar treatment, and we'll see how the colours differ. I'm just giving one of my smashed masks a little vinegar bath, and this is so I can test which one keeps its colour better over a longer period of time. So this one I'm just going to iron, and this one I'm giving a good little vinegar bath to before I then also iron it, so that we know if the colour fastness stays better on this one or better on this one.
Okay, now that my vinegar bathed one has dried and my other one has dried and they're all pressed, I think it's time to sew all of this up. So this is the right side, it's the brighter side, and this is the wrong side. So we're going to close it up. Now this is my pattern that I have made. So it's on the fold. So when you cut it out, you just place it on the fold and cut it out. And I've just drafted this based roughly on the shape of my face. But now the first step in putting together my mask is to sew along here and along here. So this one here is the chin fold. So this is actually the bottom. The chin fold there and the nose fold there. Now I'm going to do the same for the lining. So I'm making 2-ply masks, and I realize that lots of people feel that that's inadequate. And if you want to add a third layer, just a second lot of lining sewn onto this does the job quite nicely, or even an iron-on interfacing onto the wrong side of your lining fabric. Now that I have my seams here pressed open, and I've pinned the two pieces together with the outside, or the rough side with the seams on it, on the outside of each other. So the right side, or the outside facing side, is facing each other. And I have marked with some pins at about 4 centimeters from each edge, just with some pins. So what I'm going to do is now sew from here, which is on the outside of that, so that I'm seaming just the top and the bottom of the mask, just running a regular straight stitch along there, and along there, so that we can seal it. And it basically just makes a tube which we can turn inside out to make it look nice. The next step, now that I've turned it so that the right side faces out, so I've turned it inside out so that that's my mask, and now what I'm going to do is sew down these little bits at the edge here so that they are in line or even tucked a little bit extra in, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit further in. And then I'm just going to put a quick bar stitch along here just to hold it down. Now that I have completed all of the bar tacking here, I am going to fold these in like this and like this, and I'm going to seam along the edges here and here so that it makes a little channel through which I can poke some elastic to either pull it around the back of your head or maybe even just shorter ones to pop over your ears. After a good wash, I can tell you for sure that honestly, neither mask held its colour very well, and a lot of the definition of the leaf printing was lost. However, the colours are still bright and vibrant. We've got yellows and greens, and the purpley colours have all turned to this odd bluey colour. But I'm going to call them my autumn masks anyway, and wear them with a little bit of pride. It's been a lovely thing to turn my attention to crafty things like smashing and sewing, and I hope you find some time this week to find a crafty project that gives you some pleasure. But I think that's about all we have time for this week. So, if you like what we're doing, please like the video. If you're new, please subscribe to the channel. And if you want notifications, use the bell icon below. But until next time then, do widzenia.